Hey guys, welcome back to Tough Love with Dr. John O'Connor. Today's guest is Jackson Corley, the founder of Incrediwear, one of my favorite products to refer out to our patients at our 4 locations, and we were so excited to have Jackson on the show. Jackson, welcome to Tough Love. So
Man, I love to be here today. Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
excited.
So tell us a little bit. I saw that, most of our guests that come on obviously have a story. And I saw you had an incredible injury around 2008. It looks like you were mountain biking or something in California and you had a fall. Tell the audience a little bit about that and how that sounds like it was like the beginning of Incrediwear.
Yeah, I actually think there was a divine intervention there because I did extreme sports. I was extreme sports, extreme skiing, extreme biking. And 2 days after Christmas, 2008, my wife told me, don't go on a bike ride. You had about 45 minutes of light and 10 miles to go. And so I decided to go on a mountain bike, really pretty extreme, all by myself, no cell service. And, I probably should have taken the advice at the time. So I'm riding along, and if you do extreme sports, it's kind of like extreme skiing.
Yeah.
You only see the path that you're going. If you're going through trees, if you're skiing, or same thing with mountain biking. Don't look where you don't want to go.
Yeah.
And what happened? All of a sudden, I'm locked on a lava rock as I'm going down this steep ravine, and I hit the lava rock, and that flipped me as I'm flying through the air because it was straight down. I see my bike in slow motion, going right past me, and it seemed like it was like 10 minutes, but really I went about 25 feet, and a rock stopped me really fast, and I put my arms out, and a rock stopped and threw my hip sideways, and the biggest thing is I was a chiropractor too, so
Yep.
I was like, okay. I'm okay. I can fix myself. Maybe I've broken wrists. I don't know, but that was the start of Incrediwear. What happened is I went home, didn't tell anyone. I didn't want to let anyone know. Wrapped up my wrists because I thought I broke them, and then got up the next morning and did the exact same ride again. But literally, I couldn't stand up. I was riding like this, and the guys I was riding with was like, "Why are you walking this ravine area?" And because I didn't want to tell him, and basically I went past that and got home, and as an extreme athlete, I got home and I was like, oh man, I can stand up now. This is great. I'm going to dig some holes, dug some post holes, and that night I went on a 10-mile night run with a headlamp and a waist lamp, and halfway through the run, my foot started to drop, and I was like,
Oh boy,
something's up.
Now the chiropractor red light just went on.
No, it's the worst thing you can do. And then the next thing that I know is I'm in the shower, taking a shower, and I'm toweling off my legs. I'm like, I can't feel my legs. And again, I still didn't say anything to anyone. Went to bed, and that was the last day I walked for about 4 months. I actually got out of bed. I was a high volume practitioner. I did about 200 people a day. Started at 5:30 in the morning. And called my office at 4:15, and I was like, "Hey, I can't even walk. You're gonna have to, cancel the patients today." And really, that was the beginning of Incrediwear because
Of the journey, yeah, right.
Oh yeah, the journeys begin. You know what? As you put out to the universe and get back what you really need.
Sure,
and I had
absolutely.
been practicing for 20 some years on Olympic athletes as well as NFL players and so on, and I think there was something that, God wanted me to do that was to a higher level. And now we are, as chiropractic. I mean, as a conservative chiropractor, you're trying to always help people. I was trying to help myself. Absolutely. And so I went to 4 neurosurgeons. 3 of them wanted to do surgery on my spine, fuse my entire lumbar spine, because I had herniated discs from 22 millimeters up the spinal cord from L4 to L3.
So you took a hell of a fall.
Dude, I was messed up. And then I had 2 in my neck, 2 in the low back. And right now I actually have 9 herniated discs, a severe degeneration throughout my spine. It's been like 14 years, but my pain is amazing because of Incrediwear and what it's done for me. So I'm really excited about my new journey, and
Yeah, I
Now we're
love
in
it.
like 40 countries, and we're on every NBA team and almost NFL teams and Premier League. And I mean, it's crazy what's happening. And
So
there was a reason, for it to happen.
I laughed, for us at Velocity Performance where we practice, I love your product, right? And not knowing where this journey was going to go with regards to launching the podcast, I had a major, I've been through it, right? I was paralyzed as a kid, fractured my knee, microfracture repair, skull fracture, broken back, you name it, I've done it. And I came onto your products, it had to have been right around 10 years ago. I just had my microfracture repair. And I was telling one of your team members that what I loved when I had my microfracture repair, I was, and this was HSS, top hospital out where we're from. I was on the, full mobilizer 12 hours a day trying to get the chondro implants to take. And so then when I got to the rehab process, that was game on. And for me, coming back from being paralyzed, I had Guillain-Barré syndrome. So the whole left side of my body was paralyzed as a kid.
Wow.
My journey was like, all right, I got to find stuff to get back because my whole life is based around being an athlete. I was a professional basketball trainer that built my chiropractic office. I've had professional basketball players. One of my kids was just texting me that was a national player of the year. I'm going to his Hall of Fame induction. And I come on to these Incrediwear knee sleeves and I needed to go under my knee brace because the ones that they gave, and I was talking to one of your guys, I'm like, listen, you guys got to get paired with Don Joy or one of these companies because that Incrediwear knee sleeve is absolutely fire and it doesn't slide. You don't get the irritation and my knee felt great. And, I was back training and, I had a couple more National Players of the Year nominees. I've had, a share of all-time leading scorers schools. And I needed to get back to, I didn't want to wear a bulky, cumbersome brace. So I love your product. And I tell my team that we're traveling now as a paid endorsement, for what we do in physical medicine. I'm in airports and I see people rubbing something. I'm like, dude, where's your Incrediwear? Or where are your Rufos? And they think I'm like one of those infomercial people. They're like, Doc, do you walk up to everybody and tell them? I'm like, yeah, man, when you're in pain, there's nothing more that sucks than when you're suffering with something that you can't be focused on what you need to do in the course of the day because you're rubbing your foot, your back, or your knee, So tell me this. I love that you were in the big, that big volume space, and same thing with us. We've probably, treated somewhere around 20,000 patients. We're still currently practicing in our lifetime of Velocity. What was when you saw that big aha moment where you're like, I'm going with it. I'm going to make Incrediwear a international phenomenon. I'm going to take this fabric to the public. What was that moment for you?
So we'll go on with the story just a little bit, and you'll see where it evolves to. So, about 3 months in, I still had total foot drop, had back pain. I invented a bunch of other products, flotation insoles and homeopathic sublingual sprays, and always, as you know, we're trying to help our patients. So that's what I was trying to do and I'm sitting in a walker. People actually had to lift me out of a chair to get up, and I had gone to Asia. It was the weirdest thing is that I'd gone to Asia a couple months before looking for something for my son's stinky feet. He played hockey, and I kid you not, he takes off the hockey shoes and is like, oh my God, those things smell so bad. And so we'd put them outside, and really I had gone there to find something to remedy that. And that's what was so odd is that, the universe kind of brings you what you need. And I'd gone there and I found this, bamboo charcoal. I was thinking, oh man, this is cool. It absorbs the odor, just like charcoal. It's cool. Absorbs odor. It was kind of cool. And so I was also studying Japanese medicine, which was, here I am in a wheelchair and in a walker and canes and everything. And so I thought, hey, I'm going to look whatever I can get to help me. And I had this aha moment. I think it was about in February. I was thinking, whoa, what just came into my head? What if I take germanium, which happened to be the fastest computer chip in the world at the time? It beat out silicon. Remember, in the periodic table, it's carbon, silicon, germanium. Why don't I just put germanium in? And I added the bamboo charcoal because I wanted to not have to wash it. So I made this back brace, and lo and behold, I got it. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Because my back, like on a thermography, was like so hot it was white, registered white.
Oh, wow.
And so you put it on, and we did thermography before and afterwards, and it went down 7 degrees temperature in about 20 minutes. I was like, that is so odd. It's cooling me down. What's going on? And I didn't really figure out what was happening maybe for about a year, maybe even 2 years. And what happened is that I decided, well, my knee hurts. I'm going to get something for my knee. So I made a knee sleeve. So 2 months later, I get the knee sleeve, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. What's going on? I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just like, okay, I put this together, and something's happening. It was, that was like in June, and I thought, okay, my sister's diabetic. She's going to have some toes amputated. Why don't I make some socks? So I made some socks, and sure enough, the doctor for her was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Her feet are doing so much better. And so it was kind of a progression like that. And I had already had products that were launched in health food stores in, I think, about 8 or 9 countries. And so I decided, well, man, why don't I launch this in like January of 2000. See, by then it was 2010. I'm going to launch, some socks. So I did that. And I thought, wow, well, in April, these things are doing great. Why don't I just launch some braces, because they're really helping me. And that was the beginning of Incrediwear. Originally I called them Incredisocks, Incredibraces, and it was like, I have all these products coming out, and I really blew it, because really I should have just come out with a knee sleeve first, one product, instead of a bunch of different products, because literally I didn't even pay myself for like, I think 4 years, because I'm developing the product line. And everything I made was, my shoulder hurt. I had to have shoulder surgery, so I made a shoulder sleeve. The waist, I wanted something different from a back brace, so I made a waist sleeve. And really, it was always for me and never for anyone else. And that's
selfishly, right? You're like, you feel better, then it went out from there. I love it.
Yeah. And I didn't realize what it was doing at the time. It was like, do you know the magic that's in Incrediwear? You might not know, but germanium and carbonized charcoal, when they're in a nano state, ground up to the microform, they act as a semiconductor. And when
I saw that. Yeah.
Heated with the body, they release. We now know not only far infrared, but they release mid-level infrared optical waves. So essentially, they never stop vibrating your cells ever. And the craziest thing is, at the same time, and we didn't know this at the time until I started working with the Olympic water polo team, is that they release a negative ion, and the negative ion actually cools your body. It pulls heat off. So essentially, it's vibrating your cells, yet it's cooling you down, which means you never get vasodilation. Okay. And that's the magic of this, is that if you take our product and you put it in super hot water, it super activates the molecules, and you put it on, it actually acts as an ice pack for an hour. It's like, amazing. What's happening? And so all the NBA team, NFL teams, and we do Alabama, Georgia, TCU. All the teams, they have a hydrocollator, they put it in, squeeze it out, it's super hot, they put it on, and in 15 seconds it feels like ice. And it's pulling the heat out of your body. And really what happens is that when you get injured, when you get old, when you have surgery, everything's about inflammation. So we work out. If we can limit the amount of inflammation, damn, you're badass, and you become even better at recovering and faster at recovering from surgery and injury.
I love that. So I have to say, it's funny, I tried to background, and, if I have a guest on, I didn't realize you were actually like an inventor. Like, I love it. I would have loved to have been out there practicing alongside you. You're like, all right, we can't fix this back pain. You're going to the lab concocting stuff, So tell me this. Yeah, so now you have the product, right? It's out there, and I was super excited because I was messaging one of my female athletes is going back to MIT to practice right now. She got a national championship ring or a world championship ring with the Golden State Warriors. So I was messaging her because it's a small world as a professional basketball trainer. Steph's co-captain at Davidson was a kid that I trained, and so when I saw the sleeves. Yeah, so when I saw the sleeves on Steph, I was like texting with the other guy saying, hey man, this is pretty awesome. I'm actually about to jump on a podcast with the founder of Incrediwear. And I've been telling all my guys because, the big thing I think what's amazing about your product is not the effectiveness of it, but I think a lot of people don't want it. Like the same way, look, you didn't want anybody to know you were hurt, right? So with the Incrediwear product, it's like Secret Service, right? It's just there in the background. It's on you working. It's low profile almost, and it's on you, but it's not like it brings attention. So no longer it's like, hey Jackson, what's going on? It's hey Jackson, how are you? Or hey, how's your shoulder? So you could still do what you're doing and perform, and your identity is you, not your injury. So I love it from that perspective because the psyche of it becomes so important that if you can perform, I mean, everything I hear, it's like I have David Goggins, the Incrediwear guy, when I'm talking to you because I'm chuckling. I'm like, here's this guy doing 10 miles in the morning. Yeah. Like you're pulling 10 miles the night before you crash. You get up, you do 10 miles in the morning, you're finishing on a night ride, and you saw patients during the day. And I think it's a chiropractic thing. I mean, how many times we run to chiropractors that are the 1%ers? My mornings from my first flare-up, I had a GBS flare-up when I was about 10 years ago. And your product was the foot ones that came out, the little socks. One of the top podiatrists that's global, it's in our area, had them. And somebody had them and said, hey, put these on your feet. And the charcoal thing and this and that, I laughed. I was like, wow, because what I was doing was I was putting them on and then putting my feet into ice water because I couldn't deal with the burning, tingling, and I really didn't want to take the medication like I saw in your article. I didn't want to take gabapentin or Lyrica or this or that. I'm like, you know what? My body's going to absorb this. Pain has got an end date was always my mindset, right? Like it's going to go away, right? And I would sit out there and, I'm a hunter, I'm an outdoorsman, so I'm pretty good in the cold. I would sit out there on the patio with the fire pit going with my feet up to my knees in an ice bucket, and my friends would be like, dude, you're nuts. And I'm like, and I'm laughing. I'm like, my feet feel amazing. I don't know about you, but if you had my feet, by the running joke, I'd be seeing patients with slides on and like you with the walker when you're at work and you're hurt. I'm like, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. And they're in slides. I used to chuckle. I'm like, my feet would hurt so bad. And I was excited to get your products because I would chuckle and be like, guys, I wish once I could just touch you and let you feel what my feet feel like. And you'd say a smile on my face and they'd be blown away. They're like, but you're smiling. I'm like, it's my pain. I say hi to it every morning when I wake up,
The only disability is in your brain. It's not in your body. And you've got to go. And, that's why, when we take a look at, who's using it, the Warriors were my first team. This is a great story because I called up and I was like, Steph has got ankle problems, or he's got, ankle problems. Iguodala's got, he's got hamstring issues. Hey, can I come and visit you? I want to show you this new product. And at that time, I don't even know if you know this, I can actually stick your finger under a microscope, lay the product anywhere along your artery, and you can look on a computer screen and it'll quadruple your blood flow right in front of you. So it's increasing your blood flow constantly. So I go in and I call the Warriors. They never call back. And I was like, dang, man, why didn't they call back? I called again, got the same. Johan Wang was the trainer at the time. And I go, hey, Johan, you never called me back. Here's my number again. If you have any problems. And he calls me back and he goes, Jackson, I would have called you back right away, but you're in a bad cell area. Please come in. And so I went in that week and showed them how the product was working under the microscope. And also, when you put it under hot water. And on the package, after they won the championship the next year, it says you're an integral part of our championship team. And they were my first team, then Dallas and Denver. And now we're on every NBA team. And we don't give product. They're all, from Messi to Ronaldo to LeBron picking his team. Those are all, he's buying product to actually utilize.
I thought that was amazing. Yeah. I was talking to one of your team members and they saw that they look at purchase and LeBron James had purchased it. And somebody reached out and was like, hey, we'd love for your whole team to have it. And when you look at it, that's like when people look at my recovery routine, and that's something that we'll talk about because it sounds like you're a big rituals and routines guy, is
absolutely.
Yeah, I get up and I from work, I love the back sleeve. I put it on and I kind of drop it underneath my compression, my fitness clothing, and you don't see it, right? And the big launch for us with what we're doing with our podcast is, I've been through it. This last stretch during COVID, we wanted to kind of reinvent what we do because the basketball training had went away. I'm approaching 50 and just a lot of wear and tear. And I was an on-court trainer. So I was out there with every rep with the kids. And I'm like, you know what? If I can't be Doc, if I can't be that guy, then I want to coach in a different way because I don't want to not give them 1,000% of what I am. And, and then when I started wearing these products, I was like, I I don't know. It looks like I'm getting like a second spring here. I'm going back into training and stuff. And now like people look at the training videos and I chuckle because I like wearing them as recovery. So I may not be covered during, but afterwards, like I'll throw the elbow sleeves on. I have the full leg sleeves and I use it for my recovery stuff. So when I'm seeing patients, it's underneath my clothes and they're always like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, and I always have some type of something on, whether it's my shoe game or whether I'm wearing canes or I'm wearing your stuff. And I try to tell people all the time, I'm like, hey guys, you get one body, you get one life. If you can find a product that is amazing, that can help you live your best life, why wouldn't you not only use it, but tell everybody about it? And that's why I was so excited to get you up on the podcast today. Cause to me, I think the product is fantastic. What's your, I had a quick question. So in talking to you guys, and I love the marketing company you guys are working with, what's the big vision? I mean, it looks like you guys are really exploding. Your social media is just taking off. What's next for you guys? Like, what's the plan?
We have I can't really tell you what's happened, but we have 16 studies that we're doing right now.
Okay.
We actually have, we've done studies where if you wear us during. So the biggest thing is that I want to be the first product that you take off when you get out of bed. So at nighttime, that's the biggest recovery. So when I was doing the Warriors and doing these other teams, the question I always ask them, what are you doing at nighttime for recovery? And that's
question.
What we get.
Yeah.
Nothing. They're doing nothing. Oh yeah, we do Normatec for 30 minutes, or we do this. But you can sleep in Incrediwear. It never stops vibrating your cells, so it gets rid of inflammation during the night. Now what we're doing is we're doing cellular studies on changing the pH of your body. So we can actually act as a local antioxidant. We just finished doing studies on total knee outcome. We reduced the swelling by 57%. Versus TED hose at day 21. We increased range of motion by 6%. We finished doing studies with USC. We actually accelerated the recovery time by 50%. So from 24 days to 12.5 days, total recovery for sprains and strains of the lower extremity. And we were like, no way, that's BS. No way, how could that be, that happened. So I went to the Bundesliga in Germany and we did the exact same study, but instead of just wearing it after injury, they wore it before they practiced, while they were traveling, and at nighttime. And what happened is their injury rate went down 67%.
That's amazing.
Then we
right
went
there.
to the
yeah.
I went to the NBA.
And that's money right there.
Went to the NBA and I was like, okay, let's do the same study with the NBA referees. And we got a buy-in from half the NBA referees, and we reduced injury rate by 92%. So by wearing the product, like you said, you wear it, you're wearing it for recovery, but literally when you're exercising, when you're working out, you have inflammation. If I can stop that inflammation from occurring. Now, inflammation is good. You want macrophage and you want all these amazing mast cells and all that, but you don't want the swelling. So basically what I want to be is that product that you take off for recovery. And we're doing, like Real Madrid uses Tottenham, Arsenal, Newcastle, all these amazing teams are using us for recovery. But also I want to be the first product that you put on in the morning because you want to feel good. So We're doing studies right now at UNLV where you put on our product and we're reducing the biochemical markers of inflammation, and we're doing it on muscle trauma. And then we're doing the same kind of study in Europe. We've done it with surface EMG, where you can wear surface EMGs, wear our product, and I can show that I can reduce or help you recover by 30% in 3 hours by wearing our products, 40% overnight. And that means tomorrow you can train harder and train longer. But the biggest thing is you go to the medical doctor, instead of giving medication, they're giving Incrediwear. So we're doing studies on Sievers, Osgood-Schlatter's. Harvard is doing diabetic neuropathy. We're doing trauma at USC. I'm doing back study at Johns Hopkins. And so it's all about science and finding out how we can accelerate the recovery from everything. So you're wearing us for injury, you're wearing us your clothes, your shirts.
I love it. So
pants.
I'm going to throw a curveball at you. So what we do, well, in a good way. So I'm a huge proponent of PEMF technology, so pulse electromagnetic field therapy. So what I've been doing is I've been throwing your sleeves on because I'm sitting there getting behind it, and then I'm whapping because I'm like, all right, I need to get better faster. So I literally put it on, and then I put the PEMF right on top of it, and I'm like doubling down on it. I'm like, all right, let's see, and whether it's my feet, because I have it all like in the periphery, right? So it either be my fingertips, really more my feet. And since I've been doing that, I have to tell you, like, I can go days and take it out of my, like, take that tingling out of my feet. And like, and I tell people, I'm like, listen, everybody's gonna have your thing, right? Like whatever their ache is, the trick finger, the thumb, the shoulder, your back, your hip. And for me, it's always been my feet. And that's been my thing, where I'll take the sleeves, whatever I have, and I wrap the fabric around, and then I wrap the coils around my feet. And I'm laughing, I go, well, it's either gonna help or I'm gonna catch fire, one or the other, I'm not sure. But
that's the thing is they ask me for people all the time. They have, okay, I want a bodysuit. You know, so we're in the Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins and all these HSS. You said you went to HSS.
Absolutely, yeah.
Elatrage at Curlin Job. They're using us because they want to look badass. The
100%.
doctors see a better outcome when they're wearing us. So if it's Kevin Durant after surgery, or Klay Thompson, or Odell Beckham, or whoever it is they're having surgery, well, it's the doctor that wants to look good. You know, they want to get back faster. But what we're doing now is, if I can increase the recovery time, that means that the person at work or the person that's on the field, the athlete, if I can get them back faster, I'm going to save the team money. I'm going to
100%.
save you money. And now we're doing everything from anti-aging, because if I can increase blood flow, reduce inflammation, you know, can your skin regenerate? So talk about saving your body, reducing arthritis. We're doing studies right now on trying to regrow hyaline cartilage with stem cell injections. That study's being done in Italy right now. So if we can reduce or change a stem cell into a type 2 collagen cell rather than type 3 or 4, dude, we can actually reduce the amount of scar tissue and limit
amazing.
the amount of arthritis you get.
I did the stem cell shots in my knees and had a fantastic outcome with it. I love it. And you know, it's funny.
I love it. But how do you know what they're going to turn into? So what we're doing is we're going to show that you can actually turn that stem cell into a type 2 collagen cell. That's where we're going. You asked where we're going. We're going to all the way down to the cellular level to get the body to feel amazing all the time.
So that's one of the things. So when we kicked off, probably, I'm going to say about 9 months ago, we really started pushing like all the science, and whether it was Incrediwear, and we reached out to you guys, and you guys were wonderful in coming back to us. And, you know, we didn't even post like the amount of stuff that we've used over the years, whether it's Incrediwear and the different things we used. And, you know, we're a big science-based facility, right? So whether it's our PEMF technology or our shockwaves and, you know, our lasers and our cryotherapy. But what's amazing is, just like you said, the look cool factor. But when I tell the patients, I'm like, oh, by the way, look at the Mayo Clinic and what they're using. Look at what the National Institute of Health is writing. And you're seeing that they're endorsing PEMF on top of, you know, your stem cell injection, or, you know, Incrediwear post-surgical to cut down on inflammation to accelerate healing. And where traditional medicine may have failed you, right? They wouldn't tell you that. They don't see that value. But the reality is that everybody wants the fountain of youth. Everybody wants to be 50 saying it's the new 35. Everybody wants to be 30 feeling like they're a teenager. And so the bottom line is, as you know, as an amazing product comes out like yourself or anything is out there, I think it's our job. And I love the fact that you're, you know, going down that pathway to explore these, you know, these different verticals, to say, hey, listen, everybody wants to live their best life. If Incrediwear can make that marker, to make that claim and get people to be performing and doing these amazing things, I'm all in. You know, I think it's amazing. So kudos to you on that. So tell me this. Let's talk a little bit about, in 2008, you sounded like you could have been training with David Goggins or me, you know, but tell me about you now, like at 2023, tell me about your rituals and routines. I mean, you're a busy guy, you have this booming company, you're touching so many pro teams across the country. What keeps you focused to have this energy and do what you do?
Working out 3 times a day.
Still.
So, you know, that's number one is, you know, and every day for me, I almost died, you know, so that, you know, when you get that close to where, number one, you know, you're paralyzed, it makes each day a gift. And I really live each day. I can't wait. You know, every morning is like, oh my God, I can't wait to wake up. At the gym, you know, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Lunchtime, same thing. And then I before I go home, I go and work out again. So the energy that's there from all the employees that we have to all the different countries. I mean, to me, every day is a gift. And so it's whether you actually take that gift and open it every single day with joy and with gratitude. And really that's what pushes me every day. And we, I have a research department where every day we're going, we have universities that want to do research for us, or they're calling us. What drives me is the fact that I'll get someone that can't speak because they're in an accident, and then they send in their testimony and they're like, oh my God, I can actually talk now. What does that do for you? When you were almost there. I mean, I was there.
Yeah,
now
I was there.
What happens?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I was a sub 15-minute 5K runner. I can't even run a 9-minute mile now because I can't feel my legs. I have denervation of the iliopsoas. My muscle in my leg never stops vibrating. I can't feel down my right arm. I've had the shoulder surgery, and the thing is every day you have to keep on pushing yourself. Just like
Absolutely.
David says, he's talking, or you take a look at, every day I listen to the Kobe's and I listen to those guys. What they did before you got up in the morning, we have to get up at 4:30 just to work out before we can go to work and work for 6 hours, then go and work out at lunch, then come back and work for 5 or 6 more hours, then, go and work out again.
Absolutely.
Every day you have to create that routine. And if you're not doing that, and it doesn't, it's just not exercise. What are you eating? How much are you sleeping? Is it solid? What drugs are you taking? Are you doing stuff that's bad for your body? How's your gut health? There's so much that goes in there. It's a lot about attitude and how much you appreciate the vessel that we have, every single day, and whether you're taking care of it so you can live longer.
That value right there, let me tell you something. It's funny. I mean, I love the success of Incrediwear, but that message right there, that's the $1 billion message. I think when people get empowered, it's the same thing like in my local community when they know, Dr. O'Connor was paralyzed, or the fractured skull, or the back, or this or that. And I was always looking for that cheat code because I'd look at him and I'm like, guys, I remember when I got sick, and I remember looking at my mom when I was paralyzed as a teenager, and I was like, Mom, I'll be better tomorrow. And I've always had that mindset. And, and hearing like the 3 times a day, like now it's different, right? I mean, after my injury, the most recent one, I'm up, my alarm goes off at 4:00 and it's WTD, win the day. And I get up and I get on my PEMF unit, and now I'm laughing. Now I'll do my next study for you. I'm going to be wrapping Incrediwear everywhere with the PEMF on me. And
that's
I'm on
happening, actually. So we'll take your way.
And it's funny because we're, Pulse PEMF is one of our companies that we work with. And so, their chief science officer is going to be on with us. And I was laughing because I said to them, they're like, you're so consistent. I'm like, absolutely. Because my inner happiness is always and will always be being able to get out there and get after it and be out there and feet on the ground and take a deep breath and just be out there. And I remember being a young kid when I first got sick and running in a field barefoot when I could run again. And there was like, it felt like I had wings, where it was like, I was in a wheelchair, I was on crutches, I had the eye patch, I couldn't do this, I couldn't touch my nose. And there were so many crazy things. And I was like, oh my goodness. And when I'm talking to patients now, or I was talking to athletes and they're going through an injury and they take an ACL, they take some type of injury, they're like, but doc, you're so fit. And then I go, I'll take a knee. And especially when the younger they are, I'm like, when I was a little bit older than you, I woke up and I was paralyzed. And it was probably the most terrifying few moments of my life. And I get it, I understand it, and I'll be here every step of the way until you're out there and I'm watching you run again. And and so when I hear that energy in your voice, it makes me be grateful to be on the podcast with you, but excited to see somebody that you didn't get lucky. This is your life. You know what I mean? And you have crushed this, and
Nothing
you are.
happens by accident.
You know what I mean? And it's like it's like preparation meets opportunity, and then opportunity creates success, right? And I tell my son that's down at IMG playing baseball, and he's off to a great start, and I always tell him, I'm like, hey, I'm hard on you for one reason. Right? You get a small window to play sports. You get a small window in life to do certain things. This is your time right now to feel like some days suck, and they're gonna. But you know what? You're doing what you love, and you get to work so hard. And hear about seeing your face. You look like a 16-year-old kid when you're like, of course, what am I doing? I'm working out 3 times a day. I don't care if I'm 5 minutes, but it's my time. I'm gonna get it. Right? I'm going after it best I can. Whatever God's got left in the tank. Right? And my son had to get up, and IMG is this elite. I'm sure you guys have products there.
Yeah, we're there. Yeah.
And I chuckled. I'm like, he's like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. He's texting me, goes, I'm up to train. And I'm laughing. I'm like, I've been up an hour, son. Heard, I get it. Time to work. But you're not getting mercy from me. I send him literally. I go right to the podcast and or Spotify, and I send him the Ray Lewis 2-minute. I'm like, you got to embrace the suck. Come on, right? On the other side of pain is greatness. You got to go. So
I think the biggest thing that people make a mistake on is that, and I have talks with my employees all the time. I just had one this morning, and I was helping them through an issue, and I said, dude, what you haven't done is you haven't written the last chapter of your life. When you go to a funeral, that's the most joyous time of your life, is because now you can reflect on what you haven't done in life. And if I could give anyone advice in life, it's, dude, pretend that it's you. Today is your last day. And what do you want people to say about you? Because that's the day that you start living your life and get excited about
Absolutely.
What's going on.
Agreed.
And really, that'll push you. Then write chapter 1, chapter 2, and then you get to the end. I just think that people right now are in a state where they don't know what they want or where they're going. And with me, it's like every day is like, man, I can't wait to see, is it going to be the race team for the Tour de France, which, we work with, or is it going to be, who is it going to be with?
I love it. You guys are pulling some great athletes right now. I get excited too.
It's the key is that what's your legacy? And is your legacy, are you a priest? Are you living your life that way? Are you a mother or whatever? But really, you just need to be the best of you. And if you can do that, you can't travel back in time. So why not tell the 7-Eleven guy, hey, what's going on today? You look amazing. Or why can't you make each day a joyful day? And if we can do that by taking away your pain, by something that you wear of ours, or we can make
Absolutely.
it so that you're going to live your life to your fullest. Life is motion. And that's the biggest thing that people miss out on, is that if you're sitting in a chair doing nothing, guess what? It's your life. No wonder that you can't move around. Are you watching TV? Which, dude, I don't have time to watch TV because I want to feel every moment, every single second.
I say the same thing. When people tell me they binge watch TV, I'm always blown away. I'm like, the only time I actually maybe catch TV or like reruns, if I'm on a flight going somewhere to speak or do an event where like I see it pop up and I'm like, I just don't watch TV. I'm like, if I'm watching and I'm watching motivational stuff, I'm watching clinical stuff, I want to just, or live TV. I want to watch sports. I want to see how marvelous these athletes are, whether it's, the female soccer campaign going right now, or right now everybody's watching tennis, what's going on and these amazing events, so yeah, I absolutely get it and agree. I love the part you just touched on though. It's the truth is having something that gives people relief. Like, right, we're in a clinical application at our velocities. And I'm very excited because, with regards to keeping people active, they're always asking a list. I had a patient today come in, and super exciting, it's actually not super exciting, super tough lady, 69, a bunch of surgeries. And you know what I'm talking about? That patient's just tough. They'll have the back surgery, no big deal. Hip replacement, no big deal. And just, and when I asked her, I love that psyche. And I try to tell people, I'm like, guys, this is living. She's like, well, I want to get my shoulder replaced because I want to play pickleball. And I chuckled and I was like, I go, well, listen, why don't we try some, like I literally said, I taped her, I go, why don't we try some Incrediwear? You have full range of motion. Before we go full boat to go get that thing replaced, I go, you look pretty spectacular for 69. Why don't, if we took away the pain, would you have surgery? She's like, absolutely not. I said, and literally, so she had a foot that she had a non-fusion in her foot. So I said, okay, look, here's this article from the National Institute of Health. We're going to utilize the PEMF on that to try to help this fuse up and get as solid as possible. But you have pain and inflammation in there. You can see it. Get the Incrediwear socks on there. She pulled them right up these. I go, get these, get them going. She goes, well, and I laughed and she was like, this is amazing. And I go, listen, I'm going to be on with the founder of the company today. I'll give him a shout out that we were talking about you. And, but I think like you said, it's like, I always love the line, like lighting a candle. And no matter where we are in life and you run into people, and I love the excitement you get about your product because it works, right? And that's the same thing. I always tell people, I feel like I own all the companies that I endorse because when they hear my energy and my conviction about something, whether it's the UFO sandal or the Incrediwear sleeves and the fabric. I'm like, guys, these garments are amazing. And I chuckled. I go, I'll be the first one, by the way. I'll be your model. If you come up with sleepwear, I'll be your guy. So otherwise,
so you just don't have it yet.
That's it. I'll be the guy. So, but I definitely think that's absolutely amazing. We're getting pretty close, but I wanted to go over one last thing. I know you shared with some awesome stuff like what's coming up. What do you think, if you were telling the audience and the entrepreneurs, it sounds like when you were calling that even though it was a cell phone, that it was connectivity, and God knows I have that in my town, pushing past the nose, right? Like there had to have been a couple no's. You're like, yeah, we don't want that fabric. We want the bigger company or this or that. What would you tell the young entrepreneur, the inventor, that they really believe they have something because you had to face some adversity where you didn't know the product was going to go? What would you tell that person?
Well, number one is never give up. That's a key, is it? No is never no. No is maybe. And I think the biggest thing on entrepreneurs, this is not my first one, is that almost everything that's out there's been invented. It's one of those things where if you're trying to do a product or creating something new, what's the excitement? What's the differentiator? And really, I almost feel like right now, who's the one that's after us or should be after us? Are you disrupting a market? And you hear that all the time. Okay, what market are you disrupting? Dude, I'm disrupting the pain market, the drug market. And I always have people, they always go, okay, these guys are going to be assassinating you. They're going to be after you because you're reducing the need for medication. And so if you're a young entrepreneur, number one is call me, talk to me. Dude, I love to help mentor guys that are trying to make it, because really, we need to give as much as we're, success wise.
Got to get back. I agree. Yeah.
We need to give back. And the number one thing that we need to do as entrepreneurs is that we need to help the guys that are trying to come up the ladder. And really where we're going, we're in 40 countries now, it's not the top teams. It's actually replacing the need to have medication or having different surgeries or whatever. That's what we're trying to do. What are you trying to do as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I love that. I love the line, disruptive pain market.
Yeah, and the other thing that I would do is I'd probably just stick with, I have 350 to 400 SKUs. Take one product and try to make that the best first, and then bring on the other ones. Don't try to go and, be the be all or the everything for everything. Just try to pick that one niche, build the niche, and then expand on it. And that's where, we've been around for 14 years now. And we're super successful. The Real Madrids call us, the Newcastles, the Arsenals, they call us. That doesn't happen overnight. You just got to keep on it. And, just remember, don't ever give up. But really, you need to sleep in the office. You need to work 24/7. There is no job that says, "Oh, thank you, you did a great job today." No. It's you. And you got to be on it 24/7.
I love that. And I have to tell you, I'm definitely, what inspired me right there is when you said disruption of the pain market. And I think that's huge, right? I think that, well, first off, obviously with the pro athletes or elite athletes, they're always looking for that recovery, how to recover faster, how to be able to go every day hard. So if there's a product out there that you can go 7 days a week, and then you have like scheduled down days, we all do, right? Instead of being a 10 mile and you're trying to get 3 minute, whatever, like you're trying to do 3 minute splits or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do 5 today and cruise, but I'm still getting that sweat. But you don't have the knee pain, you don't have the back pain, you don't have the hip pain. So you know why? In the morning, not everybody has that medal that you did. You know what I mean? Where you busted your ass the night before and you're like, I'm not telling my wife I'm going out bike riding because she says I'm hurt. Then she's gonna be like, I told you so. And you're out there, you're out there at daybreak, getting in the woods, getting after it. And your boy's like, you good? You're like, yeah, just keep up. I'll be there. You know what I mean? So I love it. I absolutely love it. So I have to tell you, this was absolutely a blast today. I love the energy and everything you're doing. We are so excited. My takeaway for today is to we were pushing you guys before. I want to get behind you guys in a major way. We're opening up a bunch of recovery lounges inside of our facilities. And one of the things we're going to do is make sure that our patients know, and they're clients at that point, because we're really not going to be patients per se, to get them into these fabrics. To be like, hey guys, when you come out of the cold plunge, when you get out there and it's a down day, throw the sleeves on your arm, throw the leg sleeves on. Get used to, taking that inflammation out, so you're just speeding up the recovery process so that you're getting there and you stay in that zone, because everybody wants to be there, right? Everybody wants to be elite for as long as they can, right? So
there's no doubt. And what are they doing when they leave your place? When I ask a doctor or physical, that the first place we were big time was Andrews Institute. That was in 2012, and it was Lindsey Vaughn laying on the table, and she just had ACL. She's wearing our leg sleeve. And I come in there and I go, yeah, this is so cool. I showed her how the product works. And it's all about being able to feel and see the difference, so the doctors can see the difference. But what I'm going to challenge you on is our leg sleeve is the number one thing that all the teams use. And so you get a pair when you buy them, but only work out as hard as you can, and then put one on just one leg, sleep overnight. You're going to feel the difference, and you're going to go, damn, why did I just do one? But you did one because now you can actually feel what the difference is. I can give you the science. I can give you all the different things that, you can see how it works. But in reality, even the athletes, why do you think the athletes are wearing us and we're not paying them? Well, it's because it works. And
100%.
We sell them. We sell them the ones that have no logos. But if you go on our Instagram site, you'll see, they're wearing the ones with the logos because it looks amazing. It looks crazy. So,
well, Justin, you heard it here. We're going to do the Instagram challenge, and I'm going to start it. So you're going to see that I'm going to be pushing all my athletes across the country, and everybody's going to have one leg on, and I'm literally going to tag you on all of them.
I love it. And then what you're going to do is, if you have a hydrocolate or a hot water, take an arm sleeve, put it under hot water as hot as you can, and then wring it out, put it on the arm, and they're going to think, oh my God, that's going to get hot. And they'll feel cool. And that's the heat pulling out of the body, so you get rid of the inflammation.
Challenge number 2 accepted.
Challenge number 2, right on. I hope I can meet you in person someday. That'd be awesome. We'll go through all the different things. The next time we'll bring the microscope, show people under the microscope exactly what it does, and it really blows you away when you can see the difference.
Well, what we're going to do is this. I'm definitely going to reach out to your team, because we're hosting a national event here in November. And what I'm going to do, because we have a core 4 sciences that we use in patient care, I'm going to include the Incrediwear products for the patients to let them know. I'm like, hey guys, you can't sleep in our clinics. You don't have the devices at home, but you can sleep in your Incrediwear. You can be recovering around the clock. And I think that when you give them a profound statement like that they're constantly working on their well-being, to me, hope is a powerful thing. And when you can instill hope in patient care, and when they look at me, when I had an eye patch on, all these different things, and when they listen to my first podcast, they didn't realize how hurt I was for so many years. And I'm always like, guys, you have 2 options. You can quit, sulk, and lay there in that puddle of misery, or you could say, hey, that's where we started. And, and so when I'm talking to them, I'm like, guys, let's empower people. We can all sit there and whine about the stuff we can't do. Let's talk about what we can do. And if there's products that make us do it even a little bit better, why not? Why not? Challenge and push the envelope. So, but listen, thank you so much for being on the show with us today. As again, we're gonna post a bunch of promos today. I believe that anybody that's watching our show today will get 20% off the Incrediwear products. And I'm super excited about that. I know I've always been endorsing your stuff and looking forward to actually meeting you in person. I'm definitely going to try to get one of the team members to come out when we do this event, because we're going to be hosting a lot of doctors and a couple national companies coming in, and I think it's going to be spectacular. And I wish you all luck in the world, Jackson. I think your product is amazing, and I look forward to you guys out there. All right, so thank you so much. All right, guys, thank you so much for
being on the show. I love it.
Of course. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, we had the founder of Incrediwear, all right, Jackson Corley. Absolutely amazing product. Check it out. You'll see on our storyline today. And please follow us on our platform for all social media, as well as Incrediwear. You'll be blown away by the athletes that are out there that are using these products. Again, I just saw Steph Curry and him from the Golden State Warriors, and it's too many athletes to keep up with now. That I'm watching, you guys are growing so rapidly. So kudos to you guys, and look forward to meeting you guys in person soon. So thank you.
Great. All right. Ciao. Have a great one.
Thank you.